let's talk about how we do unit conversions. We have steps here. We will create a unit fraction in which we will write the units, and we will set it up so that the units you want to change cancel out. And when the units are on top and bottom of a fraction, they will cancel out. So when I talk about a unit fraction, we mean something like 60 seconds makes 1 minute, something like that. So this will make more sense as we look at examples. Let's first convert 375 seconds into equals blank minutes. So we're going to convert 375 seconds into however many minutes. So 375 seconds. And we can put anything over 1. This is kind of where we start, 375 seconds. And we can use multiplication to work down into the units that we want. So again, we know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. And now we see that we have seconds on top and bottom. And when they're on top and bottom like that, they cancel out. And now our only unit left is minutes. So you want the only unit you want to be left in the top. So when we multiply fractions, it's just top times the top over bottom times the bottom. And 375 divided by 60, if you can see that, is 6.25. So 375 seconds is 6.25 minutes. And again, we create the unit fractions. Our starting point, the 375, we just put that over 1. There's no other second unit involved with our starting point here. And then we use multiplication to get down to the unit that we want. Let's look at another one. Let us convert 730 miles into however many kilometers. So in this section, both in ALEKS and in your notes, you'll get a conversion chart. We wouldn't expect you to know off the top of your mind here that 1.61 kilometers is about 1 mile. So this is some information you would get from your conversion chart, things like this. You know, converting like, the units we use here in America versus the metric system, it doesn't always come out to a nice, neat whole number. So we're going to convert 730 miles into however many kilometers. So again, this is our starting point. MI for miles. Put it over 1. And we'll use this fraction right here because it has miles on bottom. And we want our miles to cancel out with that miles on top right there. So this is how we convert 730 miles into its kilometers. Again, miles on top, miles on bottom, cancel out. And we would do 730 times 1.61, and we would get, trying to find the light here, 1,175.3 kilometers. That's a pretty easy conversion, only using one fraction. There are times in which you will have to use multiples. Let's take a look. Multiple conversions. So, how about days to seconds? How many seconds is 7 days? So we have our starting point, 7 days over 1. So that everything is a fraction. Previously, we used the multiplication dot. You can also use a multiplication x. Or if you have two sets of parentheses right next to each other, with nothing in between the parentheses, that also denotes multiplication. So we want to work all the way down to seconds. We're starting with days. I know that 24 hours makes up 1 day. And again, day on top, day on bottom. Let's get rid of hours. I know that there are 60 minutes for every 1 hour. So now again, hours on top, hours on bottom. We are working our way down to seconds. There are 60 seconds for every 1 minute. Again, minute on top, minute on bottom. So let's cancel out the units here. Days on top and bottom, cancel out. Hours on top and bottom, cancel out. Minutes on top and bottom, cancel out. And the only unit we have left is the one that we want to convert into, which is seconds. So we're looking at just the numbers we have left. 7 times 24 times 60 times 60. And this would all be divided by 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. It's all just 1. And dividing by 1 doesn't change a value, just in case you're wondering what happens to the denominators. 7 times 24 times 60 times 60 is 600, 4,000, and 800 seconds. So there's one where you have to go, multiple steps. Just keep going until you get to the desired unit. Let's look at a couple more as I turn the page. You'll also have these problems in which you convert temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit or vice versa. Here are the two formulas that you will need to use. Fahrenheit is 1.8 times the degree you're given in Celsius, plus 32. If you want to convert to Celsius, but you're given Fahrenheit, you take that Fahrenheit temperature, subtract 32, and divide that value by 1.8. So let's convert 30 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So this is not really a unit conversion like the previous problems we were working out. In this case, you'll just kind of plug this value in. So again, we use this formula. There's our 1.8. We are given our degrees Celsius as 30. I'm not bringing in the letter C, I'm just plugging in the value. And then we'll add 32. So 1.8 times 30. There we go. And then we add 32. And we get 86 degrees. We got to put the unit, that is Fahrenheit. So it's just plugging in the numeric value for the temperature and seeing what you get. So here we go. Change 70 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we want to know what we have in Celsius. I take my formula. I replace that F with 70 minus 32 over 1.8. Here, I like to point out that if you have math happening in either the top or bottom of a fraction, you do that first. You treat it like it has parentheses around it. So we have 70 minus 32, which gives us 38. And divide that by 1.8. And we get this value right here, 21.1 repeating. So this is about when the equal sign are like squiggly marks, that means it's about 21.1 degrees Celsius. So I hope that helps. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you soon.